Well, Tom, it is officially the year of gathering up everyone we know, tearing up in front of them, and asking them to watch us dance. You want to start the show?
Yep. So I'm excited for the dancing part.
Yeah. Have you picked
More
a
than
first
anything.
song yet or anything? Well, I guess we should say, if you're just joining us this week, Tom and I are both getting married this year.
Not to each other, although
Whoa.
that would kind of be...
A hell of an arc for our little show we got going here.
If it was like a I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry situation where
we commit fraud.
right, which is not my first example of insurance fraud this week, but I would do that. You would be my preferred partner for insurance fraud.
Okay. I would say ditto. I'm going to go without thinking about it at all. No one's ever been that friendly to say that I am there or that. So I'm going to take that act of like kindness and use it as like the only quality needed. Be like, yeah, soups. Oh, wait, I guess you bleep. Yeah, we've been bleeping this whole time. Anyway, yeah. Yes. I would commit fraud with you too, Tom.
I feel like someone else has also offered to be your preferred partner as you just got engaged last week.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I guess we covered it a little bit. Although that wouldn't be. That's just like that's. I guess I don't understand the transition or the question. But yes.
No, you said no one's ever offered to do that, but Jesse.
Oh, right. But I mean, like you were talking about within
the
parameters of I pronounce you Chuck and Larry, and Jesse's a girl, so that would totally change the script. We would just be legally wed. Whereas Chuck and Larry, for those who have not seen the movie, and I don't feel like spoilers ahead. Skip ahead 15 seconds on your iPhone if you don't want to have this like torturous Chuck and Larry spoiler thrown at you. But they're not gay. They are firefighters, but they get married for the financial benefits and taxes of being a wed couple. And it's a heartwarming tale, to be sure. Anyway, no, yes, I am engaged, as are you. And we have yet to pick a first song to dance to. I feel like that, in a weird way, is the most stressful part, and everything else is just logistical stuff that is like measurable. And you can just make checklists and cross things off and make calls and feel productive. But getting like a song right, to me, it seems like the most. I can never guess right what's going to feel more, I guess, stressful. Like we have the venue and the DJ already down, and it's like, oh, that's fast.
That's so fast.
Yeah, it was. It was just like nothing. Like, like those are the noises of getting things done, obviously. And no, but so that stuff's done. But now we're like, how exactly do we do the thing and what songs and all that?
Sure.
Do you have any loose ends you have to tie up as we enter the final couple months? Few months, I guess, would be the best. Early summer, your wedding is, right?
So we had a deposit on the place, but we had to do our 90-day deposit of the remainder of the balance. So that felt like a big milestone.
Okay.
We are submitting deposits for the cake and the flowers this week. And that's everything. I reached out to a friend of mine who's a DJ. He's really good at like mixing live tracks together. And I asked, if I gave you a playlist, could you mix them together in a way that makes it seem like you're there? Like not just have the songs fade in and out, but like have it be like a nice playlist. And he's going to get on that for us. So I feel like other than getting my suit altered, which I'm not even sure if it needs it, I think we're like good to go. I think I need to buy shoes and pants. And
Do Zach and I need to dress any specific way?
Like a lighter gray. And I was going to buy you guys ties, I think, if we can all find some that we like.
Okay. I have a gray suit. Should I just wear that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nothing specific,
Oh, okay. But I want to match Zach, right? Or no?
Well, it's like we don't have bridesmaids dresses or anything. It's just kind of like loosely lavender and gray.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't sweat it at all. But tell me about, you got engaged. What was it, like 10 days ago?
Yeah, a couple Fridays ago.
And you already have the venue like booked. Is there like money involved, or is it just like where you're gonna go?
I think it's just set. So Jessie, for those who listen to the show, know she's from Oklahoma, but she's from like as easternmost you can be in the state, right? So
sure,
like growing up in Erie, I grew up in Lawrence Park. You grew up in Wesleyville, but I guess if you know the layout of Erie, if you go a few blocks either way, you are in the city of Erie itself.
Right.
With her little town called Roland, it's the same concept, but it's a state line instead of a city line. So,
okay,
like Roland is not even a suburb, I guess, but just a neighboring town of Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is in northwest Arkansas, kind of in the Ozarks-ish. And we thought about doing like an Ozarks wedding. We thought that might be kind of pretty, but turns out it was going to be a little too far for certain parties to attend that we wanted to attend and all that.
Sure.
I'll spare you the details, but yeah, so it's a little bigger than Erie. It's got an airport. And I think what we're going to do is have the venue be, I keep saying I think and I believe and stuff and all these texts, like it's still loose, but it's definitely set. September 8th at the Adelaide Hall, which is above a brewery in town. The hall was good. I guess one positive, other than making a lot of people travel, is that because it's in Fort Smith, venues are so cheap. Like,
oh, right. Yeah.
It was the venue itself, just to like buy a venue for the time, was like $300.
Oh, dude, you.
I know, but where they get you is like you have to use our food and our booze, and you have to have a minimum of this many guests, etc. But
what's the minimum?
Oh, we're gonna go blow past the minimum. It's just you know, so they get their money. It's just through a different, you use their people that move their chairs to feed this,
Well, yeah, we had to do all that. We had to use their bartenders and their whatever the hell, and we still paid $4,000 for their rental.
Right. No, that's what I'm hearing. It sounds like we're making out like absolute bandits on the actual cost of the venue.
Jeez.
So got lucky for sure. But also, some people have to travel, but what can you do? That's life. It's actually kind of an interesting, and I texted you and Zach about this earlier in the week. If you watch the movies Hang 'em High with Clint Eastwood or True Grit, those are supposed to have taken place in like the old Oklahoma Territory, Fort Smith area, back when it was actually a fort. Anyway, kind of once you Uber from the airport that actual weekend, everything will be walking distance once you get to the hotel. And there's like the old fort museum, and you can walk to the river. The Arkansas River, I think it is, and you can walk to the venue, and you can walk right back to the hotel, and hopefully that makes it more enjoyable for people who, there's not going to be too much transportation.
Sure.
I guess that you have to be worried about.
Right. That's
so
awesome.
That's in making it hard for people. We're hoping to make it as easy as possible for people, I guess.
Right.
So that'll be nice. So you can go learn about the hanging judge, who was a ruthless Wild West lawman who, he was tough on crime, to say the very least. The Gallows, and I'm not fucking with you, the Gallows at Fort Smith are haunting. They are fucking crazy, scary, horrific, some might say. So my joke of having the ceremony there was shot down immediately. So we're going to just do it at a ballroom instead, keeping it. But yeah, I think we made some pretty big decisions on where we were going to cut corners fast. Like we were going to the barbecue was the cheapest, and we want people to have fun. So we picked the barbecue, and we're going to have a friend that we met who's a reporter in Dallas now, but we met him at in Albuquerque. I don't know if I've ever said the call letters before.
You haven't.
Albuquerque station, but
yeah. Do I need to beat those out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But anyway, he actually has his marriage license from like the Universal Church of the Universe, or I think that's actually the name. He showed me his certificate, but he's done it before, and we're just gonna try to keep the ceremony short, and then we're gonna take a couple photos and let people have like a little cocktail, 15, 20 minutes, right? And then we're just gonna serve up some barbecue and let the DJ spin that shit, So
I do have one concern.
Sure.
It's called a cocktail hour because that's usually when the bride and groom run off and do their photos.
Yeah, I think we're just going to try to keep it to 15 to 20 minutes or something.
Okay.
We're going to take some photos beforehand, I think, just because, I don't know, what's weird is they just have to rearrange the chairs. Like we're going to have it's going to be the same space, which I guess is a little concerning. Not concern. I don't know. It's just going to be real simple. Like we'll sit down, do a thing. We'll run off to take a photo. They'll play a song. Everyone can grab their cheese cubes and grapes and their first beer or whatever. And we'll come back, sit down. We'll re-enter the hall, I guess, probably. Try to get food in people's bellies as quick as possible, and then just try to dance for the rest of the time. I think
Sure.
that's the focus, is to get to the dancing as fast as possible.
Do you have any songs currently in your playlist that you want to talk about?
Not really, because whenever I like notorious, at least in my own brain, of like all the times at parties I've tried to play music that I thought people would like and failing miserably. So I just want to trust the DJ and maybe give him a vibe or like a couple songs at certain points, like maybe the farewell song or the first dance song. But I'm not going to be like, I'm pretty sure people are going to dance to Bruce Springsteen for me, like just fucking everybody's day up. Like, I just want people to have a good time. And Jessie has a DJ she knows through like an old classmate at her OU, I guess. So, we're going to get a good one and let him do his job, I guess. And he's going to try to MC it a little bit to give it some structure without it being too laissez-faire. But yeah, so we're everything's pretty much set. We just have to make some cake choices, I guess. I mean, I'm sure it'll start to get stressful at some point, but I mean, we really hit it hard for these first 10 days, just getting a mock guest list out, and our moms have been good about kind of like sending off the book texts to their sisters and stuff,
Sure.
Like letting people know what the dates are without having to print a bunch and send them. So everything is okay. I think we went over this last week a little bit, but the worst part has been, one, trying to pick a first dance song, and two, because Jessie has like one high school friend, one college friend, and one sister, that the bridal party was so short, and we don't have to get all back into that again, but you and I have texted about it. That's like been my least favorite thing, obviously, because
Right.
I have a lot of friends that, I value, you included, that are gonna, I don't know, not be standing up there with me, even though I feel like you guys, I've already said this to you before, and people who listen to the show already have heard it. But so that's, I guess, kind of a bummer, but I just want people to have fun, and hopefully they do. That's the goal.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Have you picked a song yet? Are you going to do a dance? Are you going to do a dad-daughter dance? Are you going to do a father or a mom-son dance?
I don't know. We ran over all that stuff with the scheduler when we visited the venue.
Because there's like a show to it, I'm learning. Like there's a bit of a program. Like you don't have to print up a program, but...
Well, I was really against anything like structured. They're like, okay, do you want to have a receiving line where everyone stands in a line and they come up and say hi to you? And I was like, no, that's awful. Like, why? That's so, like, I don't want to be like I know that the whole day is like about us or whatever, but like, I don't want to be a spectacle at all.
Yeah.
But then the wedding planner is just like, look, dude, I've done hundreds of these. There needs to be a structure because there's a lot of people here who don't really know what's going on. You have to have a receiving line. Otherwise, you'll spend the whole day having a bunch of conversations with people, like that kind of thing. I don't remember where we went with the father-daughter dance type thing. I'm not sure. We're not doing a rehearsal dinner because why the would I pay money for that? I mean, not that I'm paying money, but why would I allow money to be spent on that? We're having a Sunday farewell brunch instead. Very excited about that. It is free to guests who are staying at the inn.
Why the farewell brunch and not the rehearsal dinner?
Because what the are you? We have nothing to rehearse.
Right, but I mean, like, you have no reason to pay money for a brunch either, right?
Because you can have more people at the brunch, and I'd rather like spend a relaxing goodbye thing rather than like, okay, everyone, let's get focused. We need to figure out how this thing's going. It's like, it's not stressful. It's just, we're all going to hang out and eat.
I think it's very possible that both events that you're describing are identical. I don't think I've ever been to a rehearsal dinner where it's like you put shoe print marks on the floor and like test run it. I don't know.
I'm
glad you're doing a brunch is what I'm saying, because what's that?
Right. I've done test runs of weddings before, and
okay.
Weird.
I guess I've always enjoyed rehearsal dinners because everyone, there's like, it's a chance so I've been a part of a Jake Gordon's wedding, for example. There was a couple of his college friends that we had never met. So kind of the night before he went out for his bachelor party, and we had a chance to at least talk with those people.
Sure.
And then the rehearsal dinner was another opportunity, 12 hours later, to be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, hungover? Oh, yeah. Like, oh, that's what booze does. And then, the wedding was that much smoother on the third day, kind of, so.
Gotcha.
But I'm with you in the sense that I guess I'm glad you're doing a brunch because people are going to be gathered there, and how rare is that, Like as many opportunities as possible to be around those you love, Tumnus.
Can we expect cornhole to be present at this wedding?
At mine?
Yes.
I don't know. No, probably not. Indoors? I don't know. All right.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay, sure. It's indoors.
I mean, it's going to be mostly dancing, if that's all right.
Okay, definitely.
Barbecue and dancing. We could do cornhole before or after somewhere if we want to. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
We almost had it near the river. There's like a public park area pavilion thing you can rent out, but it was a little small, and it would had to have relied on it being a nice day to have the ceremony outside. So we,
right.
And eliminating that risk factor was important to Jesse. Just like, yeah, but what if it rains? Like, I don't want to have to constantly be thinking about that, just torturing yourself for months.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little stressed about that because everything of ours relies on being outdoors. Like the wedding is outdoors, or the ceremony's outdoors. We have Will
there be cornhole at yours?
There will be. There will be a variety of lawn games, I'm told, as well as a fire pit and s'mores material supplied. So it's kind of like we have to rent out the whole inn, which is only like 13 rooms. Like that's not an issue, but we basically have the whole property for the night. So we can do whatever we want until 11 p.m. And then they said like, if we have friends who want to like bring out acoustic guitars, like we can do whatever we want, stay out as late as we want, bro. But yeah, so we're gonna have some, basically we're sleeping on the property, so like we can set up tents and like sleep out there if we want to.
Is it lights out at 11 or
no? Just no amplified music.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But I was told that we can bring a Bluetooth speaker so we can kind of dance along that amplified music line.
Are you
the one thing that I was really adamant about with this whole process was I needed exact model numbers of their speaker system because I refuse to have a sound system when we're trying to dance. I will buy and ship like a decent speaker system there if I have to. Like that's the one thing I will not accept cheap on.
Sure.
Yeah.
How are you guys on the cake? Did you go wedding cake? Like actual like multi-layered thing?
So we're actually doing like a multi-layered thing with like sculpted mushrooms and flowers going down the one side of the cake. And
nettles?
No nettles. It's like a Boston cream filling with, this was the best fucking cake I've ever had in my life. I'm not even a huge cake fan.
Sure.
Unless there's like copious amounts of vanilla sweetened almond milk to go with it. But this cake,
are you going to have that?
That cake up.
You should have a flask in your jacket of vanilla sweetened almond milk.
Just some almond breeze.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do it.
Just so you can enjoy your day to the fullest. Like maybe I'll have some on me. Just so, like, if I see you seeing cake, I'll be like, Tom, not gonna let this day be ruined.
I was wondering, like, having grooms or the wedding party gifts is like a thing.
I was worried about that too, man. I wanted to I don't know. Jesse and I are kind of like this goes along with the honey fund / gift registry debate. Is like. I don't know. We're contemplating just not saying anything and seeing what happens. I don't know. Like just thanking people so much for coming, and I don't know.
Well, I wanted to see because I think it would be nice to have something. Like I'm not going to buy you both like fucking Rolexes or anything, but just a little something. I don't know. I don't know if we should make if I should have custom guitar picks made or just something fun to remember. Something we can all three have.
Yes. To remember the day.
Yeah. I don't know. Come back with some ideas on some things you think would be fun and relatively cheap. It'll be coming out of my pocket. But yeah.
I would say, maybe, I don't know. Is there any Vermont, I don't know, stuff? Maple syrup or something?
Lots of maple syrup. No, I mean something fun. Something
I like the guitar pick idea. Like get a few made up with just the date on it maybe or something. And your initials.
The date, the date and the coordinates.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever you want, man. I'd use those picks. I'd get a guitar for that if you got me that gift.
Man, I found you a guitar on Facebook Marketplace in Cincinnati for $30. I'm wondering.
I know. I messaged the guy. He never messaged back.
Oh, bastard.
I know. And I did just do the engagement ring thing, which is, granted, $30 either way on a credit card or whatever, but still, it's like cutting down. I have no room for this extra spending, frivolous $30 spending, which is actually a ton of groceries. Before
we move on for this, I got to say one thing.
Yes.
Right now, I am talking directly to Matt, and I want to say, you motherfucker, you are not allowed to give me money. That's not cool, bro.
Ask Matt what I should do. Say Jesse and I are probably going to go to Vancouver for honeymoon. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? And if so, what should we do there?
Because he knows everything about Vancouver.
That's right.
I need to come up with an idea for how I give that money back to him because he's such a good dude and I don't want to, whatever.
That's true.
I just...
For those who listening who are fans that have not given us money for this program, everyone except Matt, who is the Canadian who listens, who we reference often, Matt has given us an amount of money to Tom specifically for the wedding, right? For a celebratory moment.
For the honeymoon, yes.
For the honeymoon. So he contributed to he somehow tracked down your honey fund.
And gave a very heartwarming note.
It was more about the gesture than the amount, I think, right? Although it was still, I don't know, I thought it was...
staggering. I don't want to say it was in the tens of thousands, but I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it definitely was not in the tens of thousands. We can't confirm on air.
Hundreds of thousands, maybe.
Yes.
But no, seriously, that's, I don't know. It's just, I don't even know what to say. It's very, very heartwarming, but maybe we'll make you a trophy of some sort.
We'll send him a care package over at uni, mate.
We'll send you a bunch of American stuff.
That's right, because that's my Canadian accent. Just a distinctly Australian sounding person.
Right.
But yes. So yeah, anyway, we are thinking about going to Vancouver for real on our
okay.
Just because we can afford it. And we watched a bunch of YouTube travel shows the other day while drinking our Saturday morning coffee. And it actually looks okay, and we can do it, and neither of us are huge beach people. So do you have any thoughts, any feedback? Our sisters were both like, what? We were like, Jesse's sister was like, why didn't you go to Hawaii? And I was like, you're basic. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we're going to Hawaii, but...
Hawaii is dope as hell. We're just, I don't know. Jessie is not much of a tanner. She's a very fair-skinned lass. So...
As are we both, right?
As are we both indeed, my good man. No, so I don't know. We had to get creative and budget reasons, of course. So I don't know. We're pumped about it, and I'm weirdly self-conscious about the worst, dumbest things that have to go into the wedding.
There's a really good bike polo scene and pop punk music scene in Vancouver. I can get you hooked up with some of those guys.
Ooh, okay.
It's the perfect honeymoon
That's right.
activities.
No, it's pretty active. I guess it's very bikeable and walkable. So I guess they have a good Chinatown and nice suspension bridges through their forests, Pacific Northwest, fresh forest type stuff, maybe some seafood dinners and stuff. So.
And you did get your passport, right?
That's definitely a priority one. For sure.
Okay.
I still have months to do it.
Do it immediately.
I should. No, I know.
Trust me.
I should get on that. Yeah, I had to cancel a couple vacation days of work to open up the week to do that.
Sure.
We almost sold our Bunbury tickets for the Cincinnati, but Blink-182's going, and I don't know. I want Jessie to see Blink-182 so bad because she hasn't yet. We were thinking about for our first dance just playing Fat Lip by Sum 41, which Jessie loves Sum 41, and then just dancing really slowly through the whole thing and not breaking character. That, I think, is actually might be the front runner right now. I am having no luck at all talking her into doing Holiday by Weezer. And then we keep going through all these romantic songs that we both individually like, but neither the other person doesn't give a about it. Anyway.
That's hard, man. Romantic songs generally suck. unless they're emo romantic songs. I don't know.
Part of me wants to just do Andrew WK Party Hard. It's time to party, let's party.
Did you hear his new album yet?
I did,
neither.
and
You
it was
did.
going to be my recommendation, but I didn't like it. So,
Okay.
what do you do?
What do you do?
We wanted to do the Hell song, or I did, because it starts off with the spitting noise, which I thought would be funny. Yeah. All right. And now, for the first time, Patrick and Jessica Holmes. Take it away, guys.
Jessica Holmes. Whoa.
You know.
Plus we covered that as 4 Under Par, our high school band.
Indeed. It would go deep.
Yeah.
No, I also want to retrace my steps and say I have always wanted to go to Hawaii. And Moana was dope. And
oh my God. Loved it.
I don't know if that's exactly where it takes place, but I'm in over my head geographically. Can we edit this out?
So can I tell you some very exciting news, Pat?
Yeah, I'd love that.
I got a library card.
Having fun isn't hard when you have a library card.
So I wanted to buy this book called Launch. It's about launching a new business. It came highly recommended. I'm doing this beard product company. I was going to buy the book on Amazon, like paperback for like $13.
Right.
And when we kind of drove around the neighborhood a couple weeks ago to see what we lived around at this new house, the library was very close. So I thought, let me see if the library has it. Then I won't have to pay anything. That's crazy, right? What a concept. And I found out they don't have the book, but the county that I live in, Jefferson County, or Jeffco as they call it, it's kind of a big county that they allocate their taxes well, I guess. And they have a deal with an app, I guess, called Hoopla. And you can borrow, quote unquote, 5 ebooks or 5 audiobooks a month. And you can download them, and then on like the 3rd of the month, they disappear from your phone and you can just re-download them again the next month. But 5 every month, dude, for free through the library. All you need is the library card. And then I was thinking, you were telling me about Overdrive, but the free Hoopla account is like crazy. So now I have to just have this book on my phone for free. I want to find a way to get it onto my Amazon Kindle Fire, I think it is. Megan got me one for my birthday last year, and I wanted to make it my reading device because having it on my phone is just too difficult because it does too many things and I get distracted easily. So I'm going to find a way to get on there, but I'm hyped, and I think I'm coming around to your library ways.
It is the first thing I do when I get to a new city is get a new library card. There are just an abundance of resources, Dom, at your fingertips. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And that, I don't know, when people talk about, I don't know, I just hope libraries never go away. I hope budget cuts never get too bad in this great nation of ours that libraries have to suffer. I saw someone, like millennials kill Applebee's articles and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one that said, I think we're making libraries useful, like, library use has shot up over the past 10 years. I could be totally wrong. I thought I saw a report like that.
Shut up?
Okay.
Wait, no. No. I didn't say shut up. I said the library use shot up?
Yeah, I think they were saying they were trying to suggest that millennials are making good use of the free Wi-Fi spaces and the free book rentals and things like that.
Gotcha.
I love it. I had mine in Albuquerque, in Cleveland. Here I have one, and they have this cool service here where I kind of just loosely describe books I've enjoyed in the past, and they recommend 3 they think that I'd enjoy based off those parameters.
Cool.
And they've nailed it probably 75% of the time, which is, I can't read that fast, so I end up returning a lot of them. But like Lost City, the Monkey God was a good book through that. Where it is just like, I guess the big score out of that book was learning about LIDAR, which is like this new type of radar technology that can scan rainforests. So now they're just finding a bunch and it's not cool anymore, but it was very interesting. Anyway, libraries are the best things. Also, can I say this? I said the Hawaii basic thing, which was a joke about Allie's sister that got a big laugh from Jesse. So I was only using it again. And then I realized while I was saying it that that's exactly where you're going on your honeymoon. So I realized that it wasn't going to get a laugh with you, but rather come off as just like a direct slight at my co-host. So I just wanted to say that I didn't even mean it, and I'm sorry.
Not only am I barely invited to your wedding, you're also throwing jabs at mine.
Oh my God. I hate it. I didn't ask for any of this shit, man. This is The worst thing that's ever happened. Like, to be honest, you knew I wanted to marry Jessie like for a while, but honestly, all the logistical stuff with the wedding was kept me from doing it. I'm not even joking. It's the worst.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt any feelings, man. But I feel like they just are now, and that sucks. And yeah, maybe that's how it is. Anyway,
Just you projecting.
I guess so, man.
So speaking of books,
the thing is, though, I want to
oh.
go to Hawaii, so I don't even know why I said it to begin with. It's really just this twisted thing, but now it's out there. So what can you do? I don't know. It wasn't funny, and I'm sorry. And
It happens. No worries.
I guess.
But speaking of books, there is a second Ron Carnage novel / novella in the works. Do we know if anything has been going on with that lately?
Yes. They played their first game, the Lugnut team in Leon. It's a sports book, and there's been a death of a player.
Right, I forgot.
There's like the stereotypical fat player who has a lot of heart, and he's already dead. He was dead a few paragraphs after he got introduced. And
because that coach, like, their conditioning for the day before the game, he had them run like a whole marathon or something.
Right.
Very unconventional for those not savvy to the sports thing as I am.
Sure. So, the coach, he's definitely a no BS type of guy, definitely drill sergeant type. And he ran him good, like he promised. There's a new coach in town, a couple new players, some new faces in Leon, which is fun. A few familiar ones as well. Ron, Flappy, and Levi frequent the games because of probably mostly a lack of anything else to do in between their excursions. I think that's where we're at. And you sent the original Thinker Boy to a couple more things, right?
Yeah, one other place. There was another one that was asking for a lot more information than I had on hand, and I've been busy with job applications lately, among 20 other things, including still kind of moving in. But
you're an entrepreneurial spirit, my boy.
It is. It was off to another publisher. We did not get an immediate no like we did the first one, so I'm a little more hopeful.
Interesting.
But you actually sent me a link the other day that Comedy Central does accept, not currently, but does accept pitch ideas for TV shows.
I think that was technically the Australian version of the website, but it was weird. But I think I don't know, I saw some article in The Ringer that like how things have gotten so much weirder and worse for them just in like a 2-year span. Like it was like 2 or 3 years ago that Inside Amy Schumer was like the best show on TV, and Key and Peele was winning Emmys, and Jon Stewart hadn't retired yet, or something like that. And a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
And
speaking of Comedy Central, though, I found out that every season of South Park is on Hulu. And I just randomly clicked episode 1 of season 20 or 21, and all the kids were around in Amazon Echo making her repeat stuff like Simon Says, and we did like a whole episode on that. So I think we're already Comedy Central writer quality, right?
Yes.
I mean, sure, we did it a year after they did, but
right.
We didn't know that.
No, and we can prove it in
they
court. So you better lawyer up.
Cartman kept saying, Alexa, add like sweaty ball sacks to my shopping list, and my Echo was right next to my TV, so mine went, I've added sweaty ball sacks to your shopping list.
Oh, technology.
It kept going off.
I would chime in and continue on this joke train, but every time we talk about that particular technology, the one in the room right next to me goes off, and I don't want that to happen. So,
yeah, I'm about to add one of the Echo Dots into the studio downstairs just because I have some lights that are hooked up to it right now.
Oh, there you go.
And I have to use my phone, which is just, oh, God, what? I just want to say what I want things to do and have them be done.
Indeed.
So in a few weeks' time, or whenever they go on sale again, I will have one ever present, always listening, always delivering me better ads right next to me.
Well, that's nice.
I actually was interviewed by Ari Lombardozzi.
Were you and he close in high school?
Thursday. We were in the same homeroom, dude. And we talked and stuff, but I don't think we ever actually hung out. And now I regret every second that we didn't hang out.
He's a cool guy.
I always knew he was.
I don't know
that
him
was
that
never
well,
a question.
So for those who aren't from Erie, specifically from our high school, which is probably not too many of you, actually. Ari is he's a horror filmmaker now. He was a dude that graduated with us from Academy. And he makes them, right?
Yeah.
What's the podcast
Director.
for?
Oh, and he has a podcast called Hauntingly Beautiful. He interviews people about the beautiful and the shitty parts of life. And he's a super good interviewer. I've listened to a couple of his episodes, and the one that I just finished was with one of my friends, Jess Scatella, who's a really amazing dude from Erie. We'll put a link in the show notes to his podcast. It's really, really good. The episode that I'm doing is going to come out at the end of April.
Oh, he interviewed Scatella.
Yeah. Cool. He's such a cool dude. So that was fun. I was weirdly nervous. I was it was a little cold in the basement, but our shows are more or less structured. We don't know what we're going to say, but we know what we're going to talk about for the most part. But with that, I didn't know what he was going to ask. I didn't know if I was going to be entertaining because I listened to some of his shows before, and he had some really cool people on. And I was so nervous, but we went for an hour and a half, and I was just
if you had to tease the episode, what would you say? What'd you cover? How'd it go?
I talked about when I first discovered internet porn on accident.
Okay.
I talked about when I was laughed out of an audition for the music business program at James Madison University. Okay. And I cried.
Well, understandably so. That sounds terrific.
Yeah, it was horrible. One of the worst experiences of my life. I talked about how I got to DC, and we talked about a lot, dude. It's hard to remember, but I did tell some of my ghost stories from this one place that I worked in Erie. Some pretty weird things that happened, and I laughed a lot, and it was a good time. It just made me really wish that we literally spent 4 years of our lives sitting right next to each other, and we didn't have a conversation like that until 8-9 years after we graduated high school. What the
how did he get a hold of you?
So it was actually funny. He told me on the show that he was hanging out with Aaron Lonke, and he was telling him that Ari kind of wanted to do a podcast, and Aaron was like, "Oh, Tom just started one. This was, months ago. You should get in touch with him." And he kind of had that in his mind. And then I think one day I posted something about it on Facebook or Instagram, and he sent me a message and was like, "Hey, I want to do a podcast. What do I need to know?" And I've kind of been, every now and then he'll message me and I'll answer some questions and give him some advice and stuff like that. And it's actually really funny. 3 minutes before we hit record, he uploaded an Instagram story that I just happened to see. And it was a video of his studio setup, and it showed the microphone. It was actually the model down from the version that I used to use up until a few episodes ago. And he was talking into the top of the microphone like you did those couple weeks that the audio sounded bad. Yeah. And literally minutes before we record, I was like, "Ari, I think you're talking to the wrong side of your mic."
Nice. Saved by the Insta story.
Because he does video, and all those microphones are front addressed,
Oh, yeah.
The boom mic. So he just did what he knew.
I go back and listen to those weeks where it was slowly the evolution of it being more turned as I watched more videos of people podcasting with different mics. And it is so, I can hear how much effort you put into making it sound passable. And it was
weird. Hard.
A few degrees on the protractor makes it.
Yeah.
And an actual world of difference. It was, it might have been episode 60, 54 through 58 or something. That was just awful, but.
Gradually got worse and worse.
Oh, it was so bad. I was so embarrassed because now you've gotten me into kind of the science of it a little and collecting sound in a safe way.
Sure, yeah.
I've even started putting more soft in the process of how I stack this little thing.
Sounds good, man. I think you've been sounding better than me lately. And I know I'm struggling because I switched my mic 4 episodes ago, and I'm still trying to find how I want it to sound. And what bums me out is the microphone that I use is the industry standard, the one Joe Rogan uses.
Oh, yeah.
But your Blue Yeti, I still think sounds better than it. So it's what the dude?
Well, it gets less use, I guess, so it might be newer. I don't know. So it doesn't get much use. There's currently an old pillowcase, an undershirt, a T-shirt, and a towel, and some nylon stretched over a hanger. And this is a rig that only you could have helped me put together. So this is like your little science experiment, I guess.
Well, sounds good, man. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate the effort, because some of these clients that I edit for, they're coaches as well for their clients. And I've had some guys that just be like, they're on episode 100 and they're just helpless. Like, I can't get the guy to stop moving the table that he is setting the microphone on,
Right.
Like, and these are people that want to make a business doing it. And I really appreciate the effort that you've put in, because I think it pays off.
Well, you can hear when I'm giving less effort. I think there might be a few episodes for fans who have been with us this whole time, of which there are several. The ones where I'm in Cleveland, you could tell where I got so drunk that I would sit back in my chair and just kind of let you talk for like a while. And then my responses would be probably audibly more distant sounding halfway through the show after like a few more aluminum cracks happened. Not that anybody would have been paying that close of attention, but I will admit that some of the lack in audio was me just, I don't know, letting it loose, I guess.
Well, I got to tell you, last week, you definitely have a more dynamic voice than I do. You tend to get quieter, and I have a lot of plugins running to try to compensate for that.
Oh, really?
But last week, I feel like you were definitely getting more quiet and a little more distant from the mic. I know you were talking about some sensitive stuff last week.
Yeah.
But I did notice, like, I could tell I set my microphone up to where I'm sitting up straight in my seat and I can't lean back because I'm already leaned back all the way, and I can't lean forward because the mic is right there. So I literally cannot move out of the way of my microphone.
Oh, okay. I have to like actively, it's almost like, I don't know, I'm leaning forward. And I'm doing it on a dresser, so there's no like logical desk thing. So there's no like my knees can't go under it. It's just
That's tough, dude.
I'm just putting my face near a spot in a room where under any other circumstance your face and head wouldn't be. Like you wouldn't set a chair up near your dresser and try to do something on top of it as your knees are there into it. But no, I've enjoyed our, what is it, 66 weeks now?
67. I think we have... I think it's 70 episodes, though, because we've done some non-canon ones.
Did Ari ask about the show?
I plugged it a little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. It was fun, dude. It was a lot of fun. I would love to do more.
Yeah. Well, Ari's, I've never heard anybody speak of Ari in anything other than like, yeah, he's the best. Like he's just the best,
Yeah.
Nothing but absolutely ringing endorsements.
Well, let's get into songs of the week because we're going a little over.
Okay.
And we'll get out of here.
We caught ourselves enjoying conversation with each other once more.
Yeah.
Damned this television program. No, it's not TV. I'm losing my goddamn mind. John. Jack White Over and Over, I think.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I just perused. I haven't had one in a while because for like a minute we were going to switch to a book thing, but we are not yet. So I figured I've only been listening to that Charlie Bliss and Jeff Rosenstock album for like a while. Those two came to me, I guess, like 2 months ago, and they've been really holding me over at work. I just really like them. Guppy and Post for those curious. Yep. But yeah, no. So I went to check some Spotify playlists today, and I guess there's a new Jack White album, and his name was top of mind because he's one of the headliners at Cincinnati's Bunbury. Yeah, he'll be this Sunday headliner. It's Incubus Saturday and Blink-182 on Friday. So anyway, Over and Over and Over is one of his new tunes, and it's a good guitar riff, and it's just Jack White. If you don't like Jack White, don't listen to it. If you do, you'll probably enjoy it.
Cool. So one of my good friends is going to be in town this Friday. He's on his first full U.S. tour. He just put out an EP like last Friday, I think, like 3 days ago. And there's a song, the opening song called Orchard to Bartnik by a single man band called Bogues. I've been loving that song lately. He's a phenomenal musician. I met him when I was in college. He responded to like a Craigslist ad. We had to record bands for school, and his friends and him came into the studio. They were 16 years old, and I heard that they were pop punk, and I was like, oh, sweet. I'm not even in this group,
of
but
which
I'm
you're
stick
a fan
around.
Of.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, if you listen to the show, you're probably aware, but if you're just joining us, Tom's a fan, and I'm a fan.
So I knew that they were pop punk. I wasn't in the group that was recording them, but I stuck around because I knew that the guys that were recording them were just awful, so bad. And I thought if these guys were good, I want to record them. So I stuck around and I was like, hey, if you want to sound good, you're going to have to come to me after this. and they did. We took some of the tracks that were usable, and I've been recording this guy, AJ, since he was 16. I think I was 19 at the time. He's a little younger than me, but we did like a whole EP like 4 years ago. Then he's been doing like huge things. He's on like No Sleep Records now, I guess. And when I was at the wood shop, I made his pedal board, and I'm super excited to see it for the first time in 2 years. And it's just really good. Like, it's not acoustic. It's like with an electric guitar, some ambient stuff, singer-songwriter, pretty emo, really catchy melodies. He's an insanely good musician and a really good friend, and I'm excited to see him this Friday for the first time in several years.
Well, that sounds lovely.
So the links to those songs and some of the stuff we discussed in the show notes at elemental.fm/reminiscent/67. And if any of you out there enjoy video games, we just published an article today, a new writer named Bryan King. It's on Final Fantasy. You can check that out in the editorial section. I'll put a link in the show notes for that too.
Is there a chance we could get a link to Ari's?
That'll definitely be in there. I have those in the notes to add that. So link to Ari's podcast on Apple Podcasts and all those places. Super good. I'm trying to get him to post some stuff on the website too. Lots of cool stuff. There was some stuff we didn't hit today. We still ran over. We'll get to it next week.
Yeah. You're a hostess with the mostest, if we're teasing ahead to next week.
I was a host, and we are communicating with lawyers at the moment. So
wow.
We will discuss the impending lawsuit.
That sounds like kind of like a weird, like you're a member of either like the Kennedys or the British royal family. Like, yes, we played host, but I'm afraid we'll have to consult legal help moving forward with the affairs. So, like, it sounds like you moved into a Tudor mansion, is what I'm trying to say. This story sounds riveting, and you could just read the script to the most recent episode of The Crown, and I would just like listen and be like, oh yeah, oh.
So there you go. Next week, very exciting.
Yes, we will be reading from The Crown. We will transcribe an entire episode of The Crown and read it to all of you.
Awesome. Well, all right, man. I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later, man. I love you, dude.
All right. Love you too. See ya.